Welcome to the Daily Spark Radio. I had a power outage at my house last night. The whole neighborhood went completely dark around 8 o'clock.
Oh no, what did you do?
Well, the Wi-Fi was dead, the TV was useless, so I lit a candle and picked up a paperback novel.
That actually sounds so cozy.
It was amazing. I read for 2 straight hours. I was totally lost in the story. But then, right at 10 o'clock, the power came back on.
Let me guess, you put the book down immediately?
I dropped it on the table. I turned on the TV to watch an action movie.
You ruined the magic. The candle was probably still burning.
I know. But it got me thinking. We all have a favorite way to consume a story. Today, we are debating a massive topic: books versus movies.
Which one actually tells a better story?
Exactly. And we are going to teach you how to talk about it. You'll learn how to confidently defend your favorite way to experience a story. And you will do it using polite but strong arguments.
Arguing in English can feel really scary sometimes. You might worry about sounding rude or aggressive.
That is completely normal. We all feel that way at first. But don't worry, we'll keep it very simple.
We will give you phrases that make you sound thoughtful, not angry. So, let me ask you a question to start our day. Have you ever walked out of a movie theater, looked at your friend, and immediately thought, the book was so much better?
Oh, about 100 times, maybe even 1,000. I mean, it is the classic complaint, right? Everyone says it.
It really is. I remember exactly when it happened to me. It was when the very first Harry Potter movie came out.
No way!
I was just a kid, and I loved those books so much. I read them under my blanket with a flashlight.
I can totally picture you doing that. So, you sat in a dark theater, waiting to see your absolute favorite scenes come to life.
Exactly. I had the whole movie perfectly built inside my head.
And let me guess, they cut your favorite scene out completely.
Yes. Entire characters were just gone. Poof. Like Peeves the ghost. I was so angry, you know? I complained to my poor parents all the way home in the car.
Oh, your poor parents. But hey, a movie just cannot hold every tiny detail from a big book. It's impossible. But sometimes a movie actually fixes a slow book.
No way. I do not believe that. Name one example.
Well, think about Jurassic Park. The book is great, sure. It has a lot of cool, detailed science. But reading about a T-Rex just doesn't beat the visual impact of seeing a giant dinosaur roar on screen.
Okay, I will give you that one. That roar is iconic. Plus, the soundtrack in that movie adds so much extra emotion.
Exactly. The music tells a powerful story all by itself. And you know, this whole debate really matters.
It really does. Stories are how we connect with the world. They teach us empathy, and they help us escape our normal reality for a little while. Also, whether you prefer reading words or watching screens actually says a lot about you.
What do you mean by that?
Well, it shows exactly how your brain likes to process the world. Are you visual, or do you like to imagine?
That's a great point. So let's get right into it. It's time for the ultimate showdown. Teen book versus teen movie.
I will start. I am proudly on team book. And my main reason is the power of imagination. When you read, you have to imagine the world yourself.
So you have to do all the hard work?
It is not work, it is freedom. You get to decide what the main character's voice sounds like. You decide exactly what the old haunted house looks like.
That makes sense. It makes the story feel very personal.
Exactly. A book is like cooking a meal from scratch. You add the spices you like, you control the flavor. If a scene is beautiful, you can stop and read it twice.
You control the pace. You can slow down.
Yes, and books give you the character's internal thoughts. In a movie, an actor just looks sad. In a book, you read 3 pages about exactly why their heart is breaking.
You get the raw emotion, not just a sad face.
Right. You really dive into their mind. You figure out their secrets before they even speak. No movie can ever capture that deep level of detail.
All right, those are strong points, but hear me out. I am firmly on team movie, and my first reason is the shared experience. What do you mean by shared experience? Reading is a lonely activity. You do it by yourself in a quiet room. But a movie is a giant collective event. You sit in a dark theater with 100 total strangers. And someone is always chewing popcorn too loudly. True, but think about a great horror movie. The monster jumps out. Every single person screams at the exact same time. You feel the energy in the room. You share the emotion. I see. It connects you to other people instantly. Exactly. Plus, we have to talk about the visual magic. I love your cooking metaphor, but let me use one too. Watching a movie is like going to a 5-star restaurant. Oh, so I don't have to do any of the dishes? Exactly. You don't do any work. You just sit back and enjoy. A brilliant director gives you their perfect version of the story. The lighting, the soundtrack, the gorgeous actors, it hits you all at once.
But what happens when their perfect meal tastes completely wrong to you? You can say, I see your point, but I want to cook my own food.
Oh, I like that phrase. It is an absolute debate superpower. Using it feels like a polite handshake right before a boxing match.
Wait, so you agree with me first and then punch my argument?
Exactly. You validate the other person first, it softens the emotional blow. You politely acknowledge their version of the story. Then you introduce yours.
Okay, I feel that. It is a very gentle, diplomatic transition. But let's look at the actual visual side of this debate.
You mean the special effects and the beautiful costumes?
Yes. You say reading gives you freedom to imagine the world. On the other hand, movies give you absolute, breathtaking reality. Saying, on the other hand, feels like weighing two heavy objects.
Like holding a heavy book in your left hand and holding a glowing screen in your right hand.
Right. You are physically shifting the balance of the entire conversation. A movie shows you every tiny detail instantly on the screen.
But my brain creates much better details than any Hollywood computer. When I read about a scary monster, it is truly terrifying because my mind knows exactly what scares me the most.
Okay. I have to admit that is a really fair point. Your imagination builds a custom-made monster just for you.
Yes, a movie monster usually just looks like silly, fake rubber. A book monster lives deep inside your own head. Think about that for a second.
Well, honestly, I still prefer looking at gorgeous movie stars.
You are completely impossible sometimes, you know that.
I definitely try my best to be difficult. Let's move on to your use it tomorrow tip for today. Next time your coworker suggests a really terrible idea at work, like making everyone watch a 3-hour boring movie.
Very funny. Do not just aggressively say no to them.
Take a breath and say, I see your point, but then you can politely offer your much better plan.
Speaking of a much better plan, choosing a 2-hour movie over a massive book saves so much time.
You save time, sure, but you sacrifice the deep emotion.
That might be true. However, my schedule is completely full.
See, you just used a very sharp debate move right there.
I did. That might be true, however, is my favorite shield.
It feels like a martial arts block, like you accept their energy. Then you immediately push back with your own point.
Exactly. You acknowledge their side, then drop your own hard fact.
I actually disagree on the approach, though. I prefer a different freeze.
Oh, really? What is your big strategy then?
I think saying, let's look at it differently, is way better.
Why? Honestly, that sounds a bit too soft for a debate.
It feels like inviting someone to look through a new window. It is not a harsh block, it's a gentle guide.
Well, let the listeners decide. Which phrase feels more natural to you?
Do you want to block the punch or open the window?
Let's test them in action. Argue for your long, time-consuming books.
Okay. Books let you imagine every tiny detail for days. That massive 20-hour commitment builds a real emotional bond.
Let's look at it differently. Movies give you an instant, stunning visual.
Okay, wow. That actually did feel very gentle and convincing.
Right? You don't always need a massive journey. Sometimes you just want a quick 2-hour adventure before bed. You've been there, right?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes my brain is just too tired to imagine anything.
So here's your practical tip to use tomorrow.
When a friend complains about a task taking way too long,
Do not just argue back with them aggressively.
shift the angle entirely. Just tell them, let's look at it differently.
Let's look at it differently then. You say short movies save you time, but that always means cutting out all the best stuff.
Wait, what if I just reply, you're completely wrong about that, Mia?
I mean, then I'm walking right out of the studio. That approach is way too aggressive for a friendly coffee shop debate.
Exactly. A much softer, better approach is saying, I have to disagree because...
Right. So I have to disagree because books give you every single detail. The movie version almost always misses the real point of the story.
But honestly, the problem with that is too much information gets super boring. I don't need 5 pages describing a creaky wooden door.
That deep description actually builds the hidden emotion. You have to imagine the old wood and physically feel the history.
I'd rather just see the door on screen in 2 quick seconds. It keeps the story moving fast. I need action, not poetry.
You are so impatient, but let's look at the phrase you just used. The problem with that is, feels very specific and sharp.
Yeah, it feels highly analytical, like a detective finding a logical flaw.
Exactly. You're pointing out a huge leak in my argument bucket. And I have to disagree because feels almost polite, but very firm.
It feels like saying, sorry, but my brain totally rejects your idea. It softens the heavy blow before you drop a massive counterargument.
Let's test this out in a real-life scenario right now. Imagine your friend thinks watching a quick summary video is completely enough.
They say it gives them the whole story in just 5 short minutes.
How frustrating. What would you say to defend reading the actual book?
I would say, well, the problem with that is you miss all the emotional depth.
Exactly. You use the phrase perfectly. So here's your practical tip to use tomorrow. When a coworker suggests a project plan with a massive obvious flaw, do not just tell them their idea is completely terrible.
Gently pause them by saying, well, the problem with that is...
Then you can explain the missing detail calmly. It works like magic.
Speaking of magic, that reminds me of a crazy night last month.
Oh? What kind of crazy night?
I went to a massive midnight movie premiere. I dragged like 20 of my friends with me.
20? Honestly, that just sounds completely exhausting to me.
No, it was amazing. We all cheered at the exact same visual moment. The energy in that theater was absolutely electric.
Well, fair enough, but books give you a totally private, personal journey.
Ooh, did you hear what you just did there?
I used a great debate phrase. Fair enough, but...
Yeah, it feels like a polite little shield, you know?
Exactly. You accept my fun shared experience first.
Right, you say fair enough to validate the other person's feelings.
Then I drop the but and pivot to my own argument.
It's a really smooth transition tactic.
Fair enough, but books still give you better characters.
Hey, you used it against me again.
I did, and it worked perfectly.
Well, fair enough, but movies still connect us physically.
Books connect you directly to the author's raw emotion instead.
At the end of the day, laughing together beats reading alone.
Whoa, another heavy hitter phrase.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like dropping a microphone on the debate.
It really does. You use it to strip away all the extra details.
Yep, you just cut right down to the final, undeniable truth.
But my truth is that I want to imagine my own version. You just hate sharing your popcorn, admit it. I mean, maybe a little bit. Popcorn is a solo journey too.
I dare you to try this tomorrow, listeners.
Ooh, a challenge. I like it.
Next time someone argues with you, hit them with a polite, fair enough, but
Just watch their reaction when you gracefully block their point.
It is the perfect tool for your next friendly debate.
Exactly. Use it when your friend insists on a loud, crowded concert.
You do not have to just yell no at them.
Just say, fair enough, but I need a quiet night in.
It keeps the friendship intact while standing your ground.
Because you must protect your peace. Okay, let's call a truce. We could argue about this all day, but I think we actually agree on something. I think we do. It really depends on what your brain needs that day. Books demand your energy. You have to focus. If I'm stressed from work, sometimes I just cannot read.
Right, your emotional battery is completely empty. That is when you put on a movie you've seen 10 times. You let the familiar visuals wash over you like a warm blanket.
That's a lovely way to put it. But when I want to really grow or learn something deep about humanity, I always pick up a book. It changes how I think.
So here's our golden rule for today. Neither medium is objectively better than the other. It's about choosing the right tool for how you want to feel.
Exactly. Choose active engagement when you have the energy, and choose passive comfort when you just need to rest.
Let's take a step back and gather up the vocabulary we used today.
First up on our list was the word imagine. This is not just about dragons or magic. It's that specific feeling when you close your eyes and build a whole picture in your mind.
Right. It's basically daydreaming, like picturing yourself on a warm, sunny beach when you're actually stuck in terrible traffic.
Exactly. For your use it tomorrow tip, you can use it to show disbelief about a situation.
Right.
Try saying, I can't imagine waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. It sounds exhausting.
Next up, we talked a lot about detail.
Remember Ryan's complaint about the creaky wooden door? Details are those tiny extra pieces of information that fill up a scene. The color of a shirt, the smell of the coffee.
Think of them as the sprinkles on a cupcake. The cake is the main story, but the tiny sprinkles make it interesting and fun.
Use it tomorrow when a friend has some juicy news to share. Lean in and say, do not leave anything out. I want to hear every single detail.
Our third word was version.
Think of this like a remix of your favorite song. It's the exact same basic idea, but it's presented in a totally new way.
Like the book version of a story versus the movie version. Same characters, but a very different experience.
Tomorrow, you can use this when talking about technology or even food. Ask someone, is that the newest version of that phone app? Or this is my own version of chicken soup.
Moving on, our fourth word today was visual.
Think about the last time someone tried to explain a route with just words. Totally confusing. But the moment they drew a quick sketch, everything clicked instantly. That clicking feeling, that's what visual does.
It's the stuff you can physically look at rather than just read on a page. It's the bold colors, the lighting, the fast action. A painting is visual. A movie screen is highly visual.
Use this at work or school tomorrow.
If someone is explaining something confusing, say, I'm a very visual learner.
Can you draw me a quick map?
Before we hit our last word, let's quickly remember those great debate phrases we practiced.
Yes, if you want to show the opposite side of a situation, hold out your hands like a scale and say, on the other hand.
If you need to be polite but still disagree, use your gentle shield. Say, I see your point, but...
And if you need to point out a leak in their argument bucket, try, well, the problem with that is...
Snap. Those phrases are perfect little tools for any friendly argument you have this week.
Okay, our final vocabulary word today is emotion.
This is the heavy stuff. It's that warm or tight feeling sitting right inside your chest when a movie makes you cry, or that sudden burst of laughter.
Joy, sadness, anger, fear. It's the raw human reaction that connects us deeply to a story.
Tomorrow, when you're listening to a great song or watching a video online, point it out. You could say, wow, that singer put so much emotion into her voice. Well, that wraps up our debate for today.
I hope you feel a little more confident talking about your favorite stories now.
Exactly. Remember, debating in English does not mean fighting. You know, it's just a fun way to share how you see the world.
That is so true. Whether you prefer turning paper pages or watching bright screens, now you can confidently defend your favorite way to experience a story. So, we have a challenge for you this week.
We do. Have a mini debate with a friend. Ask them to pick a side. Try to use the words imagine or version when you argue.
Like saying, I prefer the movie version because the music is amazing. And tell us in the comments, are you team book or team movie?
I'll definitely be reading the comments to see who agrees with me. I mean, movies bring stories to life instantly.
Oh, please. The book lovers are going to win this one.
Well, we'll see about that. Next time, we'll talk about a very frustrating moment.
Yes, when you have the perfect response ready in your head. Maybe you're talking to a coworker and you feel so ready, but the English words completely vanish the second you open your mouth.
Your brain just goes blank. It happens to everyone. We'll share easy tricks to save the conversation.
It's going to be a great episode. Thank you for listening today.
This has been the Daily Spark Radio. See you next time.